Rise and shine, and how amazing it is to be alive again today. Welcome to a new solo episode of the ASOM experience. I'm extremely happy to be here and to be with you again another week and sharing a new topic, something that I've been actually looking into for quite some time, a few years. And today I'm extremely excited to share with you just a little bit of some changes that have been happening also with the podcast itself. I've been noticing more and more engagement, and I'm extremely happy to see that more and more people are interested and are also on the path of self help and trying to find more and more sources of um, healing and awareness. And this all starts by giving yourself first the permission to take the time and to do the work. So, once again, I'm very grateful for you being here. Wherever you're connecting from, just feel free to share, leave a comment, let other listeners and people watching know where you're from, what are you interested in. And this is amazing to grow the community and to get your feedback. So today's topic is quite special, and this is something that I've been really trying to keep my level of awareness as high as possible on, because it's something that has been affecting the world entirely today. Knowing that we have more and more access to whether it's information or products or services or anything, whether it's online or offline. I'll start off just by asking you a few questions, and I would like you to actually try to take the time to answer these while I'm asking you. So the first one is, do you know that you become what you consume? Are you aware of your consumer habits and behaviors? Do you feel that you are spending more time consuming than you are actually producing? So, as you notice, today's topic is about consumption and consumption behavior and what are you consuming. And when I say consuming, it can be either, once again, as I said, information, or it can be products or services, online and offline. But today we are in a time where the access to information has been, so available. There's a lot of abundance, and today, in a few clicks, you can search on Google any type of topic, and you can be on any website, and you can order any product. But yeah, consumption can be either physical, so tangible, or non physical. And it's really very interesting to look into the science of consumerism and how does this affect you? What are the pros? What are the cons? And how to be a little bit more aware of your consumer habits and patterns. So, these questions that I've just asked you are here to guide you into becoming more aware of how you are versus what you consume. Okay? So I'll start off by listing some of the symptoms that may show you that your consumption is affecting you in a negative way, or that what you're consuming is actually leading to certain consequences in your life or in the way you're thinking, on the way you're performing, or different aspects. So start off by sharing some of these symptoms, and I will also give a little bit of my opinion on some examples that I've had personally, because I was also um, partly dependent on certain sources of information or tools or apps or anything. So I'll tell you more about those, but then start off by the first symptom, which is um, the feeling that you have certain habit patterns which are created through your consumption, which rewires your brain into asking for more of that information. So the goal, and take an example. If you are scrolling and surfing online, whether you are on the social apps like Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever, these apps um, require you to give as much attention as possible. For them, the more you give time and attention, the more they are going to profit, basically. So, what you notice here is that there's some type of content or information out there that actually grabs more and more your attention, and which leads you into, you know, being more and more dependent on that type of information. And I'll give a very simple example. If you are on Instagram and then you start scrolling and then you find a funny video of dogs or puppies or kittens, and then you are repeating this video or you're sharing it. So what's going to happen, your feed is going to grow more and more with that same content. And what's going to happen basically is that you are going to spend more time because your brain is going to ask for more of this information. So that's just the first symptom to say that, whatever you consume is basically affecting your habit patterns, and it is affecting your brain into wanting more of that. Okay. And the second one is very similar, and it is the way you create certain dependencies or addictions. And that could be, once again, either to information or to food or drinks or substances, anything that really, creates a certain reaction within you. Okay. So, once again, we're really talking about what you're consuming. Number three is imbalance. You will definitely feel a certain imbalance in the way you're consuming versus the way you're actually producing or you're creating. And it depends on what you are, where you're coming from, which background, what you work in, or what's your expertise. But if you are someone who's an artist, artists are usually known to be more of creating than consuming. And I've met artists, and I know a lot of artists today who are mainly focused on creating rather than consuming. So that's also another symptom. Another one is laziness. And why is laziness that? Because the fact that we consume more, it puts us in a position where we are in more of a comfort situation. So this is higher consumption leads to more comfort in a way where you become more lazy. And becoming more lazy is basically, for example, being on your couch and scrolling on your phone, 1, 2, 3 hours per day. So, yeah, I'm sure many, many of us do this. I've done it a lot in the past, and today I'm extremely aware of it. And I'll explain more and more tips and techniques on how to overcome this. And they're very simple, very simple. The last symptom, and this is more of a whole discussion, but I just want to share this, and this also drives me to create this podcast and to talk about consumption. Because the more and more we consume rather than produce or create, the more and more we feel less of in purpose. So there is this purposelessness where you feel that you do not have an actual purpose or goal or vision, or because you're here, you're just taking in and you're not bringing out. Okay. So I've mentioned these 5 symptoms, and I'll just give you an overview of some research and studies that I've looked into. And studies show that we human beings are a result of what we consume in terms of food, drinks, information, or any substance that can alter your mind, body, and soul. So it is extremely important to be aware of what you feed yourself, because it will have long life effects on you. So The next time you are on your phone, or you are out somewhere, or you're buying groceries, or you're shopping, or whatever you're doing, try to be a little bit more aware of your behavior. Why are you consuming this? So, this is the first step. And this is where I jump into the 5 steps and tips on how to overcome um, negative consumer behaviors. Okay, so number one is awareness. Always, always awareness. Start with awareness. And when I say awareness, once again, ask yourself, why are you consuming what you're consuming? Whether it's information, whether it's food, drinks, or anything. Why are you doing it? What is it bringing you? How is it adding value to you? How is it making you grow and learn and become better? Is it? Maybe not. So, once again, the next time you are spending endless time on something that is maybe less of use, just try to ask yourself, am I really consuming well? That's number one. Number two, compare your consumption versus your production. This is extremely important. Once you're aware of your consumption, look into what you're producing or you're creating. And once again, it depends on your expertise. It depends on where you're coming from, what you create. If you're an artist, if you're a gardener, if you're a consultant, if depends on also what you could be creating a product, or you could be creating a service. But then how much are you contributing? So productivity also comes with um, contribution. Okay, this is really important because I've had times where I was consuming way more than I was producing, and I was unhappy. I felt that there was an imbalance, a total imbalance. So number three, find more ways to be more productive and creative, because now that you've compared your consumption versus your production, how can you be more productive and creative? And first of all, are you productive and creative? That's the first question. And then, what is something that you desire most and love doing and you're passionate about? And you feel that it's an alignment with your purpose. And this is where you can find more ways to be productive and creative. Number four, change what you consume. So we're going back to consumption right now. Change what you consume. Replace what you consume basically with something better. And I'll give you an example: food. If you are someone who loves chocolate or sugar or sweets or any of that, instead of having a lot of those, you can replace it with something healthier. Could be, I don't know, veggies or cocktails, with or without alcohol. That's up to you. But I mean, smoothies, juices, any of that. Yeah. So yeah, change what you consume. Change what you consume. And last but not least, the fifth tip and step is become more of a producer than a consumer. And really, you will realize once you become more of a producer, it just keeps getting better, because your whole mind and your body and your soul would want you to create more. And you would feel that there's more and more abundance, there are more and more opportunities for you to create more. However, if you're still stuck in consuming, and also if you're not consuming well, then you're basically in that hole, and you're just, you know, going deeper and deeper in that. So I've listed 5 steps and tips, and just maybe in terms of tips, like what can you do um, if we're talking about apps or social media or any of that, you are able to easily manage your time spent on these applications. And whether you have an iPhone or another phone, it's very simple to basically look into the time spent. And if you need more help on knowing how to manage this or set it up, I will be more than happy to uh, yeah, connect and help you directly. But yeah, just to let you know that there are so many ways to do that. And let me know more about your consumer behavior and what are you consuming? What is something that you are less happy consuming and you would like to limit it more and maybe replace it with something more productive and creative? So this is basically today's episode and today's topic. And once again, thank you for taking the time to listen, to watch, whatever you're doing, wherever you are, whether you're walking outside or you're at the gym or you're cooking. It's very important as of now to be a little bit more aware of what you are consuming. And once you do that, you will slowly realize that you are able to produce more and more than consume. And yeah, thank you so much. And I will leave this here. And wherever you are, wish you a beautiful day or a beautiful night. And see you next week.